This interview is for information only and should not be considered as investment advice or a recommendation to buy shares in the company featured. Welcome to this Stock Box interview.
Well, joining us today is Peter Clause, the VP of Capital Markets at Silver Bullet Mines. Thank you for joining us again, Peter, for another update on what's going on. So, last time we spoke, we talked about that MSHA approval that allowed you to go ahead and do those health and safety work. So, first of all, on that, how's that going?
It's going. Once a year, the team has to spend a week in mandatory in-classroom training. They've done that. And as of last Monday, they were back in the field doing the safety work as requested by MSHA. MSHA is a part of the U.S. Department of Labor. And when they make a request, it's not so much a request. You do it.
Sure. Okay. And that's going to complete when? In a week or so?
Yeah, it depends on the impediments they find. It's mostly little stuff, but all contributing to the safety of the field team. And safety is the number one job.
Perfect. And then it's back to operations. But you have had some significant news today, haven't you? I wonder if you can perhaps tell us about it. There's obviously some obvious highlights in that news, but I'm sure you'll mention them.
One of the problems we face is that news releases sometimes can be moments in time, and then they're forgotten.
Sure.
The Silver Bullet story has been a lengthy story with meaningful points along the way. Getting into the treasure room, getting around the treasure room, telling you the story about drifting and hitting the new high-grade zone 1. So today's part of the story is that from the vein face, the field team pulled a 480 ounce of silver per ton sample, which is an astonishing number. And there's a picture of it in the press release. So this is part of the continuum of the story.
So this is unbelievable. 480 ounces sample of silver. That's unheard of, really, isn't it?
Well, once in a while people get lucky, but yeah, it's an extremely high number when you consider that Bonanza silver is commonly considered to be 30 ounces a ton.
Yeah,
and you can see the picture in the press release. It's astonishing, even to my untrained eye, how good it looks.
And this is taken from the front of the blast face.
Right. And this was the last blast prior to closing down for that 1 week of mandatory training and then doing the safety upgrades. So that was done 2-3 weeks ago.
Right. Okay. Excellent. And then I also noticed from the press release there that in the sort of, I would say blast debris, but I think you refer to it as like the muck pile. So as I understand, that's as you blast, you unveil the vein face, but then the sort of the debris, the other material that falls aside. You took samples from there and they were looking quite good as well.
Right. It's an obligation on the field team to take random samples. Don't grab the rocks that look pretty. Grab one from here and one from there and one from there, because sometimes the mineralization is embedded in the rock and you can't see it. Or sometimes the rock has no mineralization, and a zero return is just as important as a really good return because it helps you shape the next blast as you're going through the attic. So the numbers out of the muck pile were, as you point out, again, very good. We are obviously in the high-grade district, and we're obviously moving in the right direction to get feed for the mill.
Excellent. So, all being well, you complete that training in, a week or so, and you're on to really processing that material.
Well, the training was done last week. This week, they're doing the upgrades to the mine in the mill that were requested, like build a berm, put in guardrails, fix a frayed electrical cord. Nothing major, but all important to the safety of the team.
Okay.
So once we're done that, then it's more blasting, muck it out, put it in the 25-ton truck it to the mill, process it, try to mix the higher grade with the lower grade to get a good blend going through the mill, get it off the shaker table, and pour your doré bars. Doré bars equal revenue, equals cash flow.
Excellent. Well, thank you, Peter, for giving us that update today, and we'll catch up again next week, see how things are going. But you must be very pleased, just on a personal note, to see that sample there. That's got to be a standout moment in any explorer or miner's career, hasn't it?
There probably was a 2-second period where I went, yay! But then you're right back at it, trying to figure out the next round of blasting, all the corporate things that need to be figured out, congratulating the field team who've really done a fantastic job, and moving on. Everybody in the team deserves a pat in the back because those are spectacular numbers.
Indeed. Well, thank you very much for your time again today, Peter Clousey, VP Capital Markets, and let's catch up again soon.
Thank you.
If you enjoyed this interview, then give us a thumbs up, a like or a retweet. Subscribe to us on YouTube or follow us on Twitter and hit that notification bell to be the first to know when we release new content. There's loads of great content on our website too, across all our programs at stockboxmedia.com. Thank you for watching.